Jim, one of our students, Darlene, emailed and asked that we talk about this thing called overwhelm, and how does it happen and how do we get out of it? So overwhelm.
You just avoid everything in life. You
Become an
don't talk to
introvert.
people. You stay away and
Go live in a
easy.
mountain, in a cave.
Yeah, it's easy.
That's easy.
Yeah.
You can do that.
Now, what should we talk about?
So what I notice about overwhelm is it's the external environment that creeps into a person's space. It's kind of like water in the cracks of a sidewalk, and then it freezes
Yeah.
and it cracks the sidewalk. So many times it seeps in to places that we're not even conscious of.
Yeah. So in a lot of ways, it's just too much without noticing it's too much.
It's too much. So in social situations, maybe in loud music situations, it can feel overwhelming when there's all that external stimulation.
Yeah. So what's also a nature of a person that gets an overwhelm? Not a good or bad, but a lot of times I watch doers. I've got to do, or I've got to make them happy, or I've got to do it right, whatever format that is. And there's no alarm, there's no trigger that says, oh wait, I got to reset, I got to stop, I got to ground, I just got to walk outside for a minute. That reset button.
So they're in it before they even notice they're in it.
I think so. I've noticed that with people. They just now. So why are you doing all that? There's probably multiple reasons.
There's no
for
why.
That. There's no why. Yeah.
Why.
So it's the doer. It's the person who doesn't have really good boundaries sometimes. It's a person who gives up their seniority. It's a person that is doesn't want to disappoint other people, so they keep doing, or they take on things.
They put themselves into situations where there's a should.
Many times.
I
sure.
should go to this party.
Yeah, or I'm expected, or they'll be disappointed if I don't. So I think there's a lot of different circumstances that people get into it, but I know that if you're that kind of a person, it has a lot of value to basically recognize I'm that kind of a person. There's nothing good or bad inherently.
Or recognize that's the situation that I have these feelings in.
Or I find myself in.
Yeah.
And I just had an experience, I'm overwhelmed. Gee, I'm doing this again. I'm getting tired of this, is kind of the response to that. So, okay, well, what did you do to get yourself in that situation?
It's like we were talking to that elementary school teacher the other day, and she was saying that she's retired now, but during the last few years of teaching, she would come home exhausted and overwhelmed.
Yeah. And in her case, she didn't have any tools.
No.
And she was wanting to do it right.
And she thought she got home and was tired because she was on her feet all day.
Yeah.
But when in actuality, she later recognized, as we were talking to her, it was because she was responsible for these 30 little humans.
Yeah, yeah. And had an obligation to make them right, whatever that means.
Yeah.
So there's a stress level that's put on that overwhelm. And in her case, kids never let up.
Right.
You know, so it's 24 hours, it's go home, get some sleep, come back, do it again the next day. But I think one of the fundamental pieces is tools. It goes back to tools. If you have a sense of your grounding, you have a sense of present time, you have a clear understanding of your roles and kind of this point of delineation, this is me and that's my experience.
And go into the situation that you know you're vulnerable around, prepared, already grounded, already have your rows up. So when you're in that noisy environment, you're better able to manage it.
Yeah, so set your energy before you go in. Yeah. Get clear about this is what I'm paying attention to going in. that will all mitigate that
Well,
overwhelm, I think.
and I also think that even people who have tools or on some spiritual path, when they get overwhelmed, there may be a level of not quite guilt, but like, oh, I have tools. I shouldn't be getting overwhelmed.
Yeah, I should have done this or should
Right.
have done
Well,
that.
you know, I'm not being masterful because I'm now exhausted and in this situation.
Well, you know, and for people with tools, and even people kind of now playing in that light body space with lots of tools, lots of awareness and consciousness, you still have pictures. You still have those experiences where I'm uncertain about, or I'm not capable of, or I don't think I can perform. And much of that is my mom, dad, teacher, minister said, and I haven't cleaned that pattern out yet. So sometimes an experience like overwhelm, stop and say, where does this come from? Not as beating yourself up, but, you know, what is the source of this? Who am I pleasing? Why am I doing this? What do I want from this? Am I able to be accomplished on my terms based on somebody else's terms? How am I playing this game out? So I think asking questions not from what's
Beating
wrong with
yourself
me
up.
is actually a very valuable process.
And make it be okay that when I'm in a social situation of 20 people or more, that I start to feel a little uncomfortable. So recognize that's what happens. Don't beat yourself up for it. And then prepare with the tools before you walk into that party.
And let's just take that situation too. A lot of times you don't have to be the center of attention. They may not be, but because you don't have to be, maybe at that point stop being engaged, just kind of be quiet and start to pay attention to you and what is going on here that I'm feeling this particular way. So be introspective. You know, the thing is, you think, well, everybody's noticing. Actually, nobody's noticing.
No, people are just in their own thing.
Absolutely, and you just get quiet and kind of really notice you in this process. So, but overwhelm. There's no whole other side of it. Let's touch on this, the energetic side of the world today. You know, the collective consciousness, the collective nature of humanity right now is in a disconnect. The energies of structure and dependability and I came from here and this is how it works and this is my truth, that's not holding water for, you know, the many people. So the ground is shaking under the feet of humanity right now, and some are panicking or fearful or scared or fill in the blank without having any idea what's going on with me. And so you're also feeling that banging of that energy on the edge of your energy field, causing some of that.
Which causes overwhelm.
You know, without going here, if you listen to Fox News on this side or CNN on this side, it's astonishing. The same exact sentence spoken by somebody whose name will go unspoken. It's like two different night and day. And so you get all this amping up of energies that have nothing to do with you many times.
And part of managing overwhelm, I think, is knowing when to step away. Like you said, be quiet in that party. Just stand and observe.
Yeah.
Know when is healthy for you to step away and say, I'm done right now. I need to take care of me.
And there's a phrase in bicycle riding that says, drink when you're not thirsty and eat when you're not hungry. Because you're out there, you know, going 50, 60, 100-mile rides like I do, and you haven't drank enough or eaten enough, you hit the wall.
Yes.
And at that point, you way past the point of, you know, finishing that bike ride.
Yeah.
So in this case, start to notice indicators of, let me just kind of take a breath and ground myself and step aside and kind of enjoy this rather than engaging in it.
Yeah.
You know, we had a woman the other day where we went to that party the other night, and she stepped into the conversation and began to talk about the governor's race and the two candidates and this, and it was like, whoa, where did this
She
come from?
was so revved up.
Really revved up, but very intelligent. So it was worth listening to her point of view. But this amp in her space was kind of fascinating. But yet it was like, I am interested, but I'm not interested that much.
Yeah.
And had to go drink more. No, that's not what happened at all, I don't think, anyway. So overwhelm is something to pay attention to, particularly in these days. These shifts are happening, these experiences that you're used to being in place, many of them aren't going to be there to be in place in future times.
So more and more it's important to be masterful of your own personal space.
Managing who you are.
Managing who you are.
Yeah. So it's how do you choose? As you know, always pay attention to you, and what is it that you want to experience in the situation that I'm in? And when you go home, did you get it, or did you get overwhelmed? So why did you go to that party? What would you like to learn? What was your reason? Be clear about the reason, and then measure it against the experience you're having. So that's all I know, I think, on that topic. Maybe we should go clean the house now.
For the party we're going to have.
Oh, yeah, so all those people.
20 people coming over to have a party.
Absolutely.
No, I don't think so.
No. Have a nice morning.